Hey, this is Steve Preston of UltimateBaseballStrength.com. This is the third video in the three-part free coaching series on how to build a perfect baseball player. The first video I talked to you about the abilities of a baseball player, what the ideals were of a perfect baseball player, how to compare yourself and set up your program. The last video I showed you how to build baseball-specific strength so that you can hit more powerful home runs, hit the ball harder, and so forth. And today I'm going to talk about how to build your baseball-specific speed so that you can do things like get out of the batter's box and first base, beating out an infield hit. You could stretch a single into a double, run down fly balls, etc. Okay, so baseball speed is essential. And those are the reasons why we want to increase your speed. But let's talk about mistakes. Even well-intended strength coaches make a lot of mistakes with baseball players. And the first mistake is about the energy system. Baseball is an ATP sport. That's a fast energy system. That's the one where you're basically asking your body to do explosive things like running to first base or running out, stretching a double. It's not like running a half marathon or anything like that. So the mistake is that in the training and preparation for baseball, a lot of coaches just send their baseball players for runs, running miles and everything, and it's completely irrelevant to the needs of a baseball game. And then what you find out is that all this running you did and all this jogging you did don't seem to apply late in the game when you're feeling tired and you're just not being able to focus on the ball and focus on the game, and you're watching your batting average start to plummet, okay, late in the game. So anyway, that's the first mistake. Second mistake has to do with sprinting. Other coaches think, okay, well, my players need to get from the batter's box to first base as fast as possible, so I'm going to train them on 60-yard dash. They're always going to run a 60 and they try to improve their score. Well, the problem is that the 60 is actually kind of irrelevant, because if you think about it, when you start a sprint, you're in an ideal situation, pushing off your foot. In baseball, after swinging at a ball that could be low and outside, could be high and in, and so forth, you never know how you're going to wind up in your swing, and a lot of times your first step is unstable, and your body has to readjust and pick up that first step to get out of the batter's box quickly. So again, it accentuates that 60 isn't necessarily relevant to the needs of a baseball player, but of course speed is. So what I'll explain in a bit is how to improve your speed for baseball without resorting to actually just straight sprints. The third mistake is speed without strength. You have to increase strength in a baseball-specific way, in a baseball-specific program, before you're going to get ideal gains in speed, okay? If you have to blow one or the other off, I would blow off speed training before I blew off strength training that's specific to the game. What you do is you don't blow off anything and you train everything in a complete fashion, then you find yourself building the ultimate perfect baseball player, okay? So that's the third mistake. Now let me go with the 3 tips that you want to go with in order to increase your baseball-specific speed. Tip number 1, off-season first. I mentioned that you got to build strength before speed. So make sure you're doing an off-season program where you're laying a foundation of strength in those baseball-specific muscles, really targeting things like your hips and thighs, as well as your core, shoulders, chest, and back, arms as well. But you want to definitely lay that foundation. I like 6 to 12 weeks for an off-season program, and that should be something that you do preferably, I guess, in the winter if you're playing summer baseball. Tip number 2, speed drills and plyos, okay? After you've laid the base with a foundation of off-season training, you can get more into things like speed drills and plyos. Now, speed drills. What you want to do with baseball players is you want to start loading the lead leg in compromised positions. Do things like having your players lie on your back, and then when the coach says go, you have to get into a push-up position. Then the coach says go again. You have to bring your front leg up, and then the coach says go a third time. Then you run. Or lying on flat on your stomach. When the coach says go, you have to jump up to one leg. Then the coach says go. Then you have to run. Just things that put your body in different positions. It's great to do with baseball players, and it gets the body to think quickly. All right. So that's something you can do. Along with plyometric training, things like box jumps, plyometric push-ups, even that as we're getting closer to the season in the preseason time. The third thing, as I mentioned, is the loading the legs in the unstable situations. A really great drill that I love to do with baseball players is called a scramble to balance. Have them lie face down on the ground, like in a Superman position. When you'll blow a whistle, and they've got to keep their eyes closed. And when you blow a whistle, they have to jump up to one leg and balance on one leg with their eyes closed. Have them go right back down and perform that for like 6 reps on each side. Again, it's loading the legs in unstable situations. In combination with your off-season training, it will increase your speed for baseball, and you're going to see outstanding results. So, I hope these